What's going on, champs and champions? It's FireMonkey here, and I'm here to crush your dreams once again. As you guys remember, a while back I said no, your favorite collaboration isn't coming to the game, and I'm practically here to say that one more time, because recently a brand new survey has been given out to different players for Fortnite, asking them, hey, do you know this brand? Do you like this brand? Do you not like this brand? And tons of stuff, which has led people to speculate that we're going to be getting a lot of collaborations very, very soon in the game, when that might not be the case, and you might want to dwindle those hopes down a little bit more so you don't end up heartbroken when your favorite thing doesn't end up making it in. Now, the whole entire point of making this video is because recently a new survey was actually released publicly. You know, people were taking it, and it mentioned a lot of different characters, and it mentioned a lot of different things that people have been wanting for a while, right? There's been mentions of like Toy Story, Ninjago, Pirates of the Caribbean, Stranger Things, God of War, Final Fantasy, Metroid, Five Nights at Freddy's, Legend of Zelda, Mario, and all that type of stuff. But just because these things get mentioned doesn't mean, hey, it's happening. And the reason I want to make this, right, is because recently we've been having a whole entire situation on Twitter where there's been a lot of people thinking and seeing these different surveys and being like, oh, look at all these characters coming soon. I gotta prepare my wallet, because while Epic Games has been releasing quite a bit of characters, it isn't something that you're really gonna have to rush out and prepare your wallet for. Now, to kind of explain this and go in detail a little bit more, surveys aren't a new thing for Fortnite. We've had skin surveys that actually revealed a lot of upcoming outfits to the game, but we've also had these surveys which don't have images at all and are more like, hey, look, do you like this specific brand? Do you know this brand? Would you purchase this brand if it was sold in the game? And those surveys that typically, you know, don't have any images or anything are more so to gauge a player's, you know, impressions on different things, if they would buy certain things if they were sold in the item shop, all that type of stuff, instead of being like, hey, this is coming to the game. And that is a real point that I feel a lot of people actually miss when it comes to these surveys, is that when it comes to stuff that isn't images, right, it's just flat out, hey, do you know this brand? Those have been happening for years, and it doesn't exactly mean that everything you see, every brand you see mentioned, are going to actually make their way into Fortnite. Now, to kind of, you know, elaborate this on a little bit more, I know some people might be in the comments being like, but FireMonkey, we've seen Peter Griffin in the surveys before and he came to the game, but FireMonkey, we've seen insert other collaboration here and he came to the game. And while that is true, we have seen collaborations that were mentioned in surveys first actually released in the game, we've also seen things that have been in the game for years mentioned in these surveys. I mean, we've even seen Fortnite original characters. Like, I don't go to the surveys and I'm like, oh my god, guys, they mentioned Alexa. That must mean we're getting Alexa reskin. Sure, we got Princess Alexa, but that was also from an actual survey that, you know, actually went ahead and showcased, you know, different character designs instead of being so related to one or two things. I mean, we've had like the Black Knight and Red Knight mentioned in these surveys a million times. It doesn't mean that there's going to be getting a new style or anything like that for them. And that is kind of the thing to mention here, right? Is that these surveys, while yes, they can have things that are being worked on behind the scenes for future collaborations, it really shouldn't be taken as gospel to the point where it's like all of these are confirmed happening, because there's been a lot of things that have been mentioned in surveys before that haven't happened in the game. I mean, if I think of some off the top of my head, we have stuff like Yakuza. Now, Yakuza, definitely an interesting situation for people who don't know. I'm really into those games, because when it comes to characters from that franchise like Kiryu, we already know that they're going to be a little bit harder to get in the game because of the fact that the actual creators of those franchises and the lore for those games was like, yeah, you know, I don't want Kiryu in a fighting game because I don't think Kiryu would hurt women. You know, that's actually something he said before when asked, you know, regarding fighting games, kind of like Mortal Kombat and all that type of stuff. And I mean, when we've seen Street Fighter collaborations with Yakuza, it's been more of the characters cosplaying as Yakuza characters like Kiryu instead of actually being their own original thing. Now, that is, you know, something that's kind of, you know, unique to not Street Fighter, but Rainbow Six Siege when it came to the whole entire collaboration they did there. But it is something to kind of keep in mind that Yakuza's been mentioned in these surveys before. We've had a One Piece mentioned in these surveys before. We've had a million musical artists mentioned before. We've had like DJ Khaled, all that type of stuff mentioned a million times, and it doesn't always mean we're getting a collaboration in the game. Now, I know stuff with like DJ Khaled did actually get an emote in the game later down the line, but it is something, you know, I do want to just kind of talk about and mention here, because I feel like the whole entire situation regarding surveys has kind of gotten overblown to the point where everyone's taking every single mention in a survey as guaranteed this is happening. And, you know, it's definitely an interesting time to kind of, you know, play it off from that angle when we have a lot of people kind of getting into Fortnite because of the fact that we have all these brand new game modes like Lego Fortnite, Rocket Racing, and all that type of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of people who don't fully understand what's going on here and think that, oh, you know, the people who leak stuff, you know, leakers are out here talking about this and being like, this could happen in the future, so maybe it's confirmed because, you know, they know more about this game than I do. I'm just new to it. And it's something that I kind of wanted to have as a video, so, you know, if people kind of have this discussion in the future, because it does come back every once in a while, they can go ahead and link this so that people can get more educated on the topic. Now, of course, just the mention of all this type of stuff, right? Things that could actually happen as collaborations. You know, it's mentioned stuff like even Five Nights at Freddy's in the surveys. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, right? But it shouldn't be taken as, oh, this is guaranteed happening. And I'm not even here to diss other leakers, right? I'm pretty sure that, you know, one of the leakers who I'm actually talking about here, and you know who I thought about the topic from, is probably watching this video or got linked it or something, and I'm not here to do drama or anything like that, right? I'm tired of drama. Drama happens every once in a while, and it's just so annoying to actually do. And I'm just trying to chill and play my Lego Fortnite in peace, but what I do want to do is be like, hey, you know, I don't hate on anyone who's out here taking the leaks and, you know, all the surveys and everything one way, but I do think there's a lot of miscommunication kind of going on, and a lot of people taking these surveys as gospel guaranteed confirmed things when we have a history of no, they're not exactly fully confirmed. So, you know, I just want to make a video about it. So yes, in one way, some things in the surveys will eventually come to the game, but in another way, things in the surveys aren't always guaranteed. The main point of these surveys, even mentioning different characters, is to gauge the players who actually get the surveys and figure out what would they like to see. Would they like to see this specific collaboration, such as The Boys, come to the game? Would they like to see different things like Pirates of the Caribbean come to the game, even if it's not something being worked on? And I mean, even before, we've heard about like Samus being a character who's trying to come to the game, right? From Metroid and all that type of stuff. However, Nintendo is very, very stubborn in the fact that they don't want their characters being used in games that, you know, are available outside of the Switch. I mean, back when Samus and Metroid, all that type of stuff was being worked on for Fortnite, the whole entire consensus that we heard about from the court cases and everything was basically, hey, if you want to put this in your game, it has to only be visible on the Nintendo Switch. And that is something that Epic Games already has support for, at least from the old locker UI they did and everything else. Back when we were getting the PlayStation Plus, you know, benefit skins and everything, they originally were going to lock that on Xbox when they merged accounts and all that. But it is something that is supported, and Epic Games is kind of like, no, we want these characters to be available for everyone to play with because we want it to be able to purchase in the item shop without it being like, hey, you can purchase this on the Nintendo Switch and nowhere else. No, right? So that is why we haven't actually seen any Nintendo collaborations in the game as of yet. So even though we've seen things mentioned in the survey, such as Super Mario, Zelda, Metroid, all the type of stuff, keep in mind that Nintendo is very, very stubborn, and that should be a sign that, hey, not everything mentioned is going to come to the game, because we already have this situation that's happened years upon years upon years with specifically Nintendo before. So with that said, I hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys a little bit later with another upload. Peace out.